welcome to the Wispy Loops podcast, episode 1. Hi, my name's Eva. I'm 24, I live in Belgium, and I am literally obsessed with knitting. I know, it sounds cliche, but no, let's start over, shall we? Hi, welcome to the Wispy Loops podcast, episode 1. Nah. Hey, welcome to the Wispy Loops podcast. This is a knitting podcast, primarily about what I'm working on, yarn acquisitions, and new techniques that I'm learning. I thought I was just gonna start this and see where it goes. So just a little interactive. If I'm looking down there are my show notes. So I'm just, because this is my first time recording and I'm quite nervous. So yeah, my name's Eva. I'm 24 and I live in Belgium. I started knitting in May 2020. Just your regular pandemic knitter. And before that I was crocheting for since I was 10. And I did little puppets and the occasional cardigan or garment, if you want to call it that, was just oversized big things. Anyways, I was always intimidated by knitting because it was 2 or more needles and so many active stitches, and it was just too much to think about. But then last year I thought, why not give it a go? And I picked up some knitting needles for my mum because she's a great knitter. And I picked up some yarn and I just started. And in the beginning I was doing it all wrong. I was twisting all my stitches. I was knitting through the back all the time, and I only discovered that when I started knitting in the round, because then everything was twisted and didn't work out and all this kind of stuff. But I eventually got the hang of it, and yeah, I've been obsessed ever since. So I thought I'd start a knitting podcast, and I don't know if I said that. It's going to be about fiber and yarn and new techniques and things I'm working on and maybe some designs, and yeah, hope you enjoy. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry under the name of Wispy Loops, and I think that's it. So let's jump straight in, shall we? I like the outlay of what I'm drinking, what I'm wearing, finished objects, work in progresses, and acquisitions if I have some. So, in my cup today I have some sweet chai with soy milk, and it's very lovely. It's a little bit too warm. It's perfect to drink, but I'm getting a little hot. It's a lovely day, sunny, but there are some clouds, so if the light changes throughout, I'm sorry. I apologize in advance. And what I'm wearing, you can tell I'm not a native English speaker, so please just ignore the occasional weird thing that I say. This is the Ranunculus by Midori Hirose. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. It's beautiful. It's all over. Everyone has knit one, as it seems. It's got a lace and texture stitch yoke, and then just a fairly wide body, and I made the long sleeve version. It's a one skein project, but I ran out of yarn, so that's why there are colour blocks on the sleeves, but I quite enjoy that. It gives it a little bit more pep. I also modified the yoke. I did a few more eyelets here and there, and I think, yeah, I omitted the short rows in the front and some of the texture rounds on the very bottom. It got a twisted rib and an I-cord bind off. I used the beige is the Wool Mélange in the colour 147, and the variegated one, which is beautiful, is also cool wool in the hand-dyed collection colorway Seema. They're both by Lana Grossa, and yeah, they're both 100% merino superwash, which makes them super soft, very cozy, comfy. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. I'm also wearing a little crop top underneath because that's what I like to do, and I got inspired to do that by Kat from the Heather and Hops knitting podcast. She's so lovely, and she always wears these, like, I think they're like My Secret Little Crop by Jessie made and some other bralettes, but this one is just an improvised version, 2x2 half twisted rib, and I can't remember the yarn I used. I'm also wearing my at the time favorite socks. They're these ones. I'm wearing them all the time, so they are little ruggedy. These are just an improvised pattern, not an improvised pattern, but an improvised stitch pattern. There's 1x1 rib on the cuff, 3x1 rib for the whole main body. Then there's a 1x1 rib heel flap and gusset heel construction, and a regular wedge toe. The blue is sock yarn, 80/20 merino nylon in the colorway Chai by Lana Grossa, and the tweed is something I can't remember. It's just a cream tweed, and it's very lovely, very warm. And that's that. That's what I'm wearing. So let's move on to finished objects. We're continuing in the Lana Grossa hand-dyed collection. This is the wrong way around. This is my turtle dove. I've recently finished this and I love it. I've worn it so much already. The pattern is by, excuse me, so let's start over. This is the turtle dove by Espace Tricot. It's your basic raglan. It's very deep raglan though, so it creates a boxy fit, quite a wide body and some fairly slim sleeves. Mine are 3/4 length. I could have made them longer, but I think they're perfect like this. The original pattern has a turtleneck, but I just folded it in and sewed it down because that's more comfortable for me. And it created a folded collar, which is very nice and snuggly. I knit the size 2, and I did not go for the recommended yarn. I used the Cool Wool by Lana Grossa yet again, like I said, in the Chai colorway. I used 4.5mm needles, my Knit Pro needles that I'm using for pretty much everything. And yeah, so the thing The thing is that I have gotten quite a tighter gauge than the pattern recommends, which is fine, but that means that the overall fit is a lot closer to my body than I expected it to be, which I'm not mad about. Maybe I can insert a cutaway of me wearing it if I can figure out how that works. But yeah, I was expecting like a voluptuous, big, snuggly jumper. It's not that. It's quite fitted, but it is lovely. The only thing is that when I wear it, when I wear it, there's a sort of like wave going on in the fabric, right where my collarbones are, and I don't know why, but I've seen it on several pictures of other people knitting the turtle dove. They have the same thing. I don't know how to fix that. It doesn't bother me too much, but I'd like it to be a little bit smoother maybe. And as you can see, I did not alternate skeins, so there's quite a light skein where I started. It's top-down construction, and then the rest is quite a bit darker, but I don't mind it too much because it looks like a yoke, sort of, so it's fine. And yeah, I love the color. Can you see that? I don't know if close-ups work. The twisted rib. And yeah, I just love this colorway. It's beautifully grey tones, light, medium grey, dark grey. There's blues in it and warm browns and the occasional fleck of dark green. It's beautiful. Yes, so that's my turtle dove and first finished object. Then next up is this one. This is a improvised hat that I knit up in like, what, 4 hours or something. It was really quick knit. It is a 2x2 rib with just some basic decreases. I knitted in cotton bamboo, which is a sock yarn, which I'm gonna show you later in my WIP section again, and a mystery mohair, which I got gifted by a school friend's mum over 8 years ago. And it's been in my stash, and I was wondering what I could do with like half a skein of mohair, and well, I got into a mustard vase and I love it. And yeah, so I used it for this, and I pretty much used everything except for like this much. I played yarn chicken in the one, which is quite fun. I'm gonna put it on and I hope I don't get head hair, but yeah, it's just a super basic ribbed head beanie, and yeah, it's quite lovely. It's very warm, so it's perfect for winter. Right, anything else? Oh, I knitted it on 4mm needles, and I didn't gauge swatch. I rarely gauge swatch. For hats, never. For jumpers, pretty much never. Yeah, I'm not into it, and I know I should. I should alternate skeins. I should do gauge swatches, but I just don't. I don't know. Maybe I'll start that one day, but not today. Ribbed head, gone. Then I have one more finished object, which is super cute. It's this little pumpkin. I'm gonna try to, does it work? It's just a really cute little thing. Knitted up so quickly. And it's filled with scrap yarns. So it's not stuffed with, is it polyfill? Something like that? No, it's not. This was just some leftover yarn. I can't remember what it is, some kind of ribbon yarn. I knit a tube in 3x1 rib, and then I cinched in the bottom, filled it with, you know, all those ends that you weave in and cut off, and all the ends that tie up the skeins of yarn, and all of that I collected in like little jars, and I had a whole thing, like a whole big jar full of it from this year, and this is what's gone into this. So this is stuffed with scrap yarn, which is really cool because then I didn't have to throw that away, and it made a really cute little pumpkin. The stem is just a what do you call it? An I-cord in this colorway actually. So all kinds of leftovers and all that went into this one. Just a cute scrappy project. Very quick to do, and I'm tempted to do more of them. But yeah, let's put that to the side for now. And I'm just looking at my notes, but that should be everything for my WIPs. No, for my finished objects. Now come the WIPs. I feel like my hair is all over the place. Let me just... Is that better? Hope it is. I don't know. I can't see myself. I hope I'm still recording. We'll keep going and see what it becomes later. See what it becomes later? I think that's fine. Doesn't matter. We'll just move on. So, for my work in progress section, I've got 5 projects that I'm going to share with you today, and then I've got about 4 languishing ones, and a couple dream projects I may talk about later. But starting with this one, I don't have any project bags. I have one that I sewed myself, but I haven't gotten any fancy ones. So I'm just putting my projects into bowls, and this is where this one lives in. This is just a simple ribbed top. So far it's just a tube with a little, can you see that progress? No, stitch marker. I hope that focused. So far it's, like I said, just a tube, and I'm about to split for front and back, and then there's just going to be a little bit more ribbing and then some I-cord straps. I've got this much yarn left. It's a one skein kind of thing. It's Cool Wool by Lana Grossa yet again, from their hand-dyed collection in the colorway Seema, and it's 100% merino extra fine, non-felting, superwash yarn wool. And I'm knitting this up in 3.5mm needles. The bottom rib is a 3x3 twisted knit stitches and some slip stitches in between. Don't know if you could see that. Like 3 per 1 twisted knit, 1 slipped stitch, 1 twisted knit. And then I switched to 5x1 rib for the main thing of the body. This is just an improvised little top, which I'm planning to wear underneath these jumpers. So that's that. This is the yarn. It's beautiful. It is white and cream and peachy orange. There are some speckles in there, hot pink, deep purple. Oh, this, yeah, it's lovely. So that is that. Oh, I didn't mention the colorway. No, I did. I think I named... Did I say Seema? I'm sorry, I got the wrong tag. I meant Manju is the colorway. This is the wrong tag, but yeah, Manju. Alright, let's move on. Shall we do another jumper? Or another top garment? Whatever. As my knitting obsession, knitting journey started last year, my family, my mother mainly, gifted me some yarn for my birthday. It's beautiful. This one I got last year. It's the Isager Alpaca 2. So it's 50% alpaca and 50% wool in the mint colorway, but I feel like it's more of a sage. And it's so lovely and squishy and soft, and I have been debating what to knit with it for the longest time. Like, it's just been my birthday again, so this has been in my stash for over a year. And it's just so precious, but I'm finally knitting it up together with some Sandnes garn. They are Sunday. In the colorway, it's a non-superwash, 100% wool, produced in Norway. Really nice, just fingering weight yarn. And I'm holding them together because I think the color matches quite well. Can you see that? Yeah. I'm holding them together to create a DK weight. And I'm knitting it up in some... I'm knitting it in 5.5 millimeter needles. This is gonna be a beast of a sweater. No, it's not. It's gonna be fine. This is it so far. I'm calling this, it's my own design, or like an improvised pattern. A simple raglan with a twist, because the raglan increases have cables and eyelets, because I love eyelet raglan increases. Yes, we've got a folded 1x1 rib collar, some twist eyelet raglan increases, what seems like massive sleeves, which I'm knitting the first one up, and you can see that I've got 2 cables in here for the body, because last night I was on a I can't put my project down because it's just way too much fun and I want to knit another round and another round and another round kind of situation. And I did this much of the body. I was trying to design a cable pattern. It worked out okay, but I'm gonna rip back, which is why there's another cable in here. this is cable that I knit up in 3 hours last night. It's beautiful, it's nice, it's twisting this way and out and in and blah blah blah, but I don't know, I want to keep the eyelets and pass them down further, and I think I might just do a very simple twisted cable and not that many, because you can't really see them, they're gonna be underneath the arms, and I want them to be simple enough to work. I feel like if there's too much underneath the arms, it's sort of not distracting, but you want to see it and you're trying to look underneath the arm of another person, and that's kind of awkward. So yeah, I wanted them to be simple enough but beautiful. So yeah, I'm hoping they work out. But so I put another cable in just like before I started this, and I haven't yet had the courage to rip back, but I think I'm gonna do that when I finish this episode. Just gonna rip back, start over, just the body, and yeah, see how long this takes me, because it does knit up quite fast because it's on 5.5mm needles. It's a very loose gauge, it's super drapey, which I love. Like, look at that, just like whoop, flop, floppy. I love floppy garments. Yeah, it's very warm. It's very warm. It's alpaca. If you put them all together, it's, what is it, 75% wool and 25% alpaca. It's like, it's gonna be very warm. But I'm excited. So, that's that. Have another sip of tea. It's good. I keep looking down, I'm sorry. Let's go with this one. This is a shawl that I started in summer and I still haven't finished. It does have some length to it already. Like, can you see that? A lot of linen stitch, which I think is just fantastic. And then there's some lace, because quite frankly I love lace. I haven't knitted it that much lately because I like last year, last year I knitted so many lacy summer tops, and I kind of gotten over it, but now I'm back into it with shawls. And this one is just a labyrinth lace, like this. Oops, I'm pulling yarn like this. And then there's gonna be, so this is a another improvised pattern. A lot of linen stitch, some lace. There's gonna be more linen stitch in this colorway, and then there's gonna be on either ends some blue lace with grey color work, I'm hoping. I've never knit color work, so we'll see how that goes, but yeah, that's the plan anyways. I am using more cool wool by Lana Grossa. This is their another hand-dyed collection one in the colorway Bombay. It is light blue and cream white and got a load of speckles of rusty brown, hot pink, some like sapphire and green and teal, and yeah, all kinds of lovely flecks. I'm also using the blue cool wool in the 2037 color. It hasn't got a name, I don't think. And then this one is a little disheveled. cool wool again, grey in colour number 589. So I don't know when this is going to be finished, because it just takes a lot of time. Linen stitch is very dense. If you don't know it, you basically knit, slip, knit, slip, knit, slip, and then you purl, slip, purl, slip, purl, slip the way back. And you have your yarn while you're slipping, always in the front, so it creates this horizontal pattern, which makes it look with the V's in between and then the horizontal. It makes it look like it's woven fabric, which is why it's called linen stitch. And I think it looks really, really cool, but it just takes ages to do. Yeah, as you can see, I've got some I've got some just progress keepers in here. Is this the right way around? And then one down here. Right? This way. Yeah. It's been quite a while, but I'm hoping to finish it fairly soon. We'll see. I've got like 3 more shawls. 2 dream shawls. There's a lot of shawls going on, but I'm not going to share them today. I thought I'd share some socks, and yeah, that's what we're going to do next. These are my Hermiones everyday sock. This is what I've got so far. This is the cotton bamboo yarn that I was talking about earlier when I was talking about the ribbed head. This is what it looks like. Just a very springy yarn. It is 40% cotton, 25% virgin wool, 20% bamboo, 8% polyamide and 7% polyester. And I'm knitting it up in 2.75 meters. I'm using my, is it Adidas? I don't know, look, luxury for the hands or something. So they're basically small needles with a tiny, tiny cable, but that makes them flexible. And you're using 2, and then you knit this one and replace it, and then knit the other one, and blah blah blah. It's basically like double pointed needles, but flexible and less needles. And yeah, so far I'm quite enjoying it. It's a free pattern by, oh gosh, Dreams and Fiber, I think. I don't know. And yeah, it's fun. This is my last work in progress that I'm going to share. Another pair of socks. The Hermiones everyday socks, that's my first sock. There's a little bit. But here I've got one sock finished. Just an improvised vanilla sock, which I'm calling my Weasly socks. That I'm calling my Weasly socks. Which, I don't know. I did a crochet cast on 2x2 rib, just some stockinette, a slip stitch and garter heel flap, which created a very, very squishy and thick and I hope sturdy heel. I did the heel turn and garter as well, and I just picked up some gusset stitches, knit, changed colors again, and did a regular wedge toe. Nothing complicated. Kitchen knit it together. That's it. And this is how much I've got of the second sock. I'm using my 3.5mm 9-inch mini circulars, and they're fun, they're good, they're alright. The red contrasting color, getting tangled, this is another bowl. Red contrasting color is Slow Wool Lino by Lana Grossa. Yes, Lana Grossa is a common theme here because it's just what's easily available to me. This one is 85% merino and 15% linen. It's not your typical sock yarn, but I'm hoping that the linen will help stabilize it. And then the tweed is the same tweed as I use for these socks. It's the same. Still can't remember what it is, but it's just very, can you tell? Very squishy. And it got all those lovely little bits of extra fiber. Yeah. This is my project, which I'm taking to work and to when I'm meeting friends and stuff, when I go out, because you know, sock projects are really nice. They're portable and easy and you don't really have to think much. Yes, I am taking knitting to work, not for my breaks, but I work as a nanny for 11-month-old twin boys. They are very fun. They're very wild. They're very adventurous. They're already walking. They're running around. And well, it's very active to be sitting them, and it's demanding. But when they're sleeping and when they're napping, that's when I get time to knit. So basically it's on a break, but I'm still, you know, watching the babies. And yeah, this is when I work on socks, because I put a rule up for myself that I only work on socks when I'm somewhere else, when I'm outside, when I'm at work, when I'm meeting someone, when I'm on a walk or anything where I don't want to bring massive projects, but I don't want to waste my time at home with small projects. So at home I work on big things like jumpers and shawls and all that kind of stuff, and socks are the things that I take on the go. So yeah, this to the side, and that's it, we made it. I don't know how long I've been talking for, but we've covered introduction, FOs, WIPs. I could talk on and on about dream projects and yarn and all that. But I think I'm gonna leave that for the next episode. I don't know. Did you like this? If you liked it, leave me a thumbs up, maybe. This feels weird to say, but I guess this is what I'm supposed to say. Oh, and if you like, comment below what's your favorite drink, or what you're drinking at the moment, and what you're working on. I would love to know, because I feel like I've been watching the knitting community, like I've been watching loads of knitting podcasts, and I'm on Instagram and seeing all the knitters, what they're up to. But I feel like I want to step in a little bit more and make some more connections and communication and all that stuff. So yeah, I would love to know what's your favorite drink and what are you working on at the moment. Yeah, and other than that, thanks for watching. Like I said, you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry. I just made an account on there, so there's not that much on there yet. Under the name Wispy Loops. I leave that in the description box, as well as show notes and links, I hope. Yeah, and I hope to see you next time, whenever that will be. And yeah, thanks again. Okay, bye.